Hello, everybody. I am so excited to spend some time stamping with you, inspiring you. We've got exciting things in store. So, why don't we get started? I know it takes a couple of seconds for people to find the feed, but whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the recording, you are more than welcome to enjoy every bit of the presentation and make sure that you leave comments because we love to read comments. So we've got something special planned for you today. And I'll introduce myself first. My name is Genevieve Coe. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Markham, Ontario, Canada. And I have been collaborating with two amazing demonstrators, Amanda Batik and Jennifer Diverty. So the three of us have decided to work together to bring you extra inspiration because sometimes it's hard to do everything ourselves. I mean, I would love it if I had endless time to be able to make samples to inspire you. And there's a new catalog coming. Oh, here it is. And so, but I couldn't do it all. And we thought, why not work together? Because sometimes you can work smarter instead of harder. And then this way you get to see different styles, different ideas, more projects, more inspiration. So I hope you're excited. This is going to be a 3-day extravaganza. We are calling it the Sweet Celebration because we're celebrating. We're so excited to be able to play with things from the new catalog. And we're celebrating too because Celebration is a once a year super exciting promotion that Stampin' Up! Offers only once a year, only January and February. This year it runs from January the 4th until February the 29th. But as usual, you don't want to wait to take advantage because things can sell out throughout the sales period. So what we thought we'd do, Jennifer, Amanda, and myself, Genevieve, we thought that we would hop on here for 3 days in a row. So one day will be Amanda, one day will be Jennifer, and one day will be me. And we're going to each show you and focus and highlight on a different kind of bundle in this catalog. We're also going to highlight some of the celebration goodies. Okay, so that's what you need to know. So you're going to have to watch and enjoy. You're going to have, you don't have to, I mean, you know, but you're going to want to. You're going to want to make sure you don't miss any of our videos because you don't want to miss any of the inspiration. So where should we begin? Let's begin with the perks because you can't have a celebration. You can't have a party without perks. So just a reminder, read the description with the video so that you know all the perks. Shop with your demonstrator. But if you want the perks, either your demonstrator is Amanda, Jennifer, or myself, you know where you're watching this video. So take advantage, look at the perks in the description, and we'll be, of course, Stampin' Up! Will be giving you perks. That's part of Celebration. So for every $60 spend, you're going to get to choose a free gift. And there's higher priced gifts, which you can get with a $120 spend, but there's no limit. You can keep kind of adding on those free gifts for as much as you spend is as many gifts as you can get. So that's the gift from Stampin' Up! But the gift from us, the Sweet Celebration team, I wish I could like paste their heads next to me, Amanda, Jennifer, and myself. The gift from us is that we are providing, it's kind of like to sweeten the pot because Stampin' Up! Is already giving you an amazing gift with your $60 order, but we're sweetening the pot as part of this Sweet Celebration celebration. And we are giving you a tutorial. It's actually 3 tutorials showing different techniques. And you'll get to see each day, you'll kind of see the card, a sneak peek of it, but the actual details, supply list, pieces, how to make it will be in the tutorial. And we will email that to you absolutely free when you place a $60 order as part of the party. And then if your order gets up to 120, we'll also throw in a package of dimensionals. Okay, so that's at bare minimum what you're going to enjoy with the celebration, which is already a lot. We want you to have fun at this party. We want you to be inspired, and make sure you use the comments to ask any questions. We love interacting with you. Okay, so today I'm up for you. And again, my name is Genevieve Coe, and I've been a demonstrator for over 16 years. And I knew for this party, I wanted to show off the Nature's Sweetness Suite, which is kind of funny because it's a sweet celebration, and I'm showing the Nature Sweetness Suite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the components that are part of that suite. And then I will dive in and actually make a card with you, or make a card for you that you'll be able to see. You'll get all the details of how I make it. I'll share the measurements. You'll see what products I'm using. And then I'll show you additional samples using this suite, so that because it's one thing to look online or look in the catalog and see the outline, what the stamps look like. It's a totally different thing to see projects. So Jennifer, Amanda, and I have prepared lots of projects for you. And today I'm going to show you the ones from Nature Sweetness Suite that I made. I spent lots of time over the holiday stamping and playing, so I hope you love my projects. And then as well, I'm going to show you some samples using some Saleabration product. Okay, so that's what we have in store for today. I can't wait to get started. Let me pull up the, I'll also put up this banner to remind you about the party perks. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, sorry about a little bit of glare on here. What is this beautiful thing? It is another part of the wonderful Saleabration offer that Stampin' Up is giving. Anybody who joins the team, the Stampin' Up community, between January 4th and February 29th, not only will you get the amazing starter kit deal of being able to choose $165 worth of product, but pay only $135, no tax, no shipping. The link to join is in the description. So starting January 4th, you will get a free glass mat studio. So the glass mat studio includes this beautiful glass mat. It's got little feet on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, so that it doesn't slide around on your table. It's very sturdy. And, let's make sure I'm getting that back in the right spot there. And it's got measurements on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it down there. There's measurements on the bottom in inches and on the side in inches. And there's also centimeter measurements as well. Okay, so, and in addition, you get this kind of crafting mat that you can do watercolor techniques on it. These little squares fit our ink spots absolutely perfectly. And then as well, you get a little chamois to keep your mat clean. And I just keep it in this little Ziploc bag because it is a little bit moist. And then if you get ink on your mat, it's no problem. You can just give it a little wipe and it's good to go. Okay, so you can also clean your stamps on the little mat too. Okay, so I went right ahead and made my mat wet, so we'll have to wait for that to dry. But in the meantime, let me show you some of the beautiful things that are part of the Nature Sweetness Suite. I'm not really allowed to show you the inside of the catalog yet, because remember, it doesn't go live until January the 4th. But let me show you some of the products that are included in here in this suite. I'm opening it up so that I don't miss anything, because I would call this one a mega suite. Okay, so let's talk about accessories. Oh, I should have gotten the other one out for you. Let me see. Okay, so let's start with accessories that are in the suite. Number one, we've got these adhesive backed cork rounds. I forgot to play with these when I was making the cards, so maybe we'll add some. Okay, so they're like little tiny cork embellishments. They're fun to dress up things. And then the thing about the sweets, this is why Stampin' Up is so world renowned here, because they're very intentional when they design their products. So check out this faux leather trim. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there is actual gold sparkle in the trim. One side sort of, oh, you can't see it at all. One side has the gold sparkle. Actually, both sides have the gold sparkle. And it's not real leather, but it feels like leather. So it just gives that really nice touch. And it really coordinates really well with the paper. Oh my gosh. Let me get the paper to show you. You can see I've been cutting it up here, but I really want to give you a good taste of this sweet. So we'll soon get into the stamping, but I think it's important for you to see, since this new catalog is coming out January the 4th, I want you to see the design. So one side is sort of, it doesn't have any gold foil. The other side has gold foil. So we call this specialty designer series paper. So the three colors that are kind of featured in this paper is gold. As you can see, there's gold splatter there. Okay. And then the other color is the pebbled path. And then the other color, okay, is this one here. Can you see this color here? This is the pecan pie. Okay, this is gold, shiny. Okay, so let me show you. And then there's these elements here, which you can cut apart, use on your card. Okay, so this is all part of the same package of paper. So when you purchase this package of paper, I mean, I'd recommend getting the whole suite, because right away you get enough spend so that you get bonus Saleabration rewards, plus you'll get the bonus party perks from us. There we go, look at that. Okay, so this is the designer series paper. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, both sides there. I think you've seen all the designs now. Look at this one. Oh my gosh, that is stunning. You can see the gold is so beautiful, so rich. This one has more of the pebbled path splatters there. I think I showed you this one. Yep. Okay, so you can never go wrong with double-sided paper, because it just gives you more options in your crafting, which we love. More options, more opportunity for creativity. Okay, so that's the paper. We're not done with this suite yet. Don't worry, I have more to show you. So I've shown you embellishments. I've shown you paper. Now it's time to show you the stars. It is the feature stamp sets. Okay, so why I call it a mega suite is because this suite actually features 2 stamp sets and 2 coordinating dies. So this is the Lovely and Sweet. I'll hold it up a bit so you can see the images. You're going to see it in action when I make my card. And then you're going to see the Notes of Nature. I knew this suite was for me. Like, I don't know. I love the splatter look. But the funny thing is, it's not like I'm a nature person. Okay, just to be clear, I don't like the great outdoors in terms of camping. I don't really like being wet and dirty and all of that. But for some reason, I love playing with stamps that are naturey. And I'm not a botanist, so if I color things the wrong color, don't yell at me. I'm just having fun. And that's the fun with playing with paper and stamps and ink. We can do whatever we want. So let me show you the Lovely and Sweet. I showed you the images. I want to show you the dies here. Okay, so I should have displayed them a little better for you, but hopefully you get the idea here. Okay. Okay, So there are 13 dies in here. There's the dies that cut out the images. Okay. But there's also a label die, almost like a tab die, and like sort of, I call these bonus ones. They cut out greenery and flowers. So it's a really robust die set. And then looking at this one, the Notes of Nature. This also has words and images. Okay, so sentiments and images in both, which makes it fantastic. And then let me show you the dies here. Okay, so there's some very nice dies. This almost gives like a notebook, the edge of a page of notebook, you know, like the kind that, well, I'm not a botanist, but you know, those people out in the wild, you know, like, I don't know, what's a good example? Indiana Jones, when he's like writing stuff. You know, he uses a special notebook. So that's like the little border of that. This is the greenery. It's got dies to cut out the images. And then again, these bonus greenery dies. Okay, so you're going to see these dies in action. Why don't we get started? What I love about this suite is that you can mix and match. So you don't have to just stick with one. If you buy the whole suite, you'll get both. And so you can mix and match, you know, use this image with this word or vice versa. This has a little more of background effects. So I like to use it paired with this. Because this has more kind of bold forefront images and this is more background images. But they both have sentiments. They're both lovely. They're really easy to use if you want to create vintage style cards. Okay, so why don't we get started with the project that I'm going to stamp for you today, and then I will show you other samples using the suite. Okay, so let's get our paper. Just to make it fun, if you want to use your supplies and stamp along. I mean, I know you won't have the bundle yet, probably, unless you're a demonstrator. Demonstrators always get first dibs on things, which is why I already have the bundle before it has gone live. So that's one of the big perks of being a demonstrator. So I encourage you, if you are someone that likes to get your hands on things earlier, if you like to kind of be the first to find out information, if you want the inside scoop on things, then you definitely want to join the team and become a demonstrator. So make sure to find the link in the description and get ready to join on January the 4th. Okay. And then don't forget, you can get the free glass mat. If you don't want the glass mat, maybe you already have something similar or you just don't think you want it, you can actually add an extra $41 of product to this already amazing deal starter kit. Remember, it's $165 worth of product. You only pay $135, no tax, no shipping. And then you get all those demonstrator perks, which is you can save money, you can sell and earn a modest supplementary income. You can go to exclusive events. You can join our exclusive online community. So there's lots to enjoy there. There's something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, yes. But if you choose not to add on the glass mat during Saleabration, you can just add on another $41 worth of product. So it's great. Okay, let's keep cutting here. Okay, so this is 5.5 by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to create a layer here. And I'm using a fun color called Melon Mambo. I don't use it a ton, but something you need to know about me is I love pink. So I'm so grateful. There are so many different shades of pink that Stampin' Up has in the color family. And so Melon Mambo is a really bright, cheerful one. And I'm going to cut it at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I am going to adhere that to our card base. Okay, I'm just using seal adhesive. Anything that you see me using, you can certainly purchase. Just click the shop link in the description. But don't forget, all the Saleabration specials start January 4th. So depending on when you watch this video, if it's not yet January 4th, then just start making your list is what you should be doing. So you're all ready to go. Okay, I've put that layer on. The next thing I'm going to use is that gorgeous Designer Series paper. And even though it was super tempting to use the golden side, I'm actually going to use sort of the matte side. Let me find the design I want here. I should have kept it out when I was showing you. Here it is. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. By 5. Whoops, the blade fell out there. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so already, I think it already looks great. And all I did was cut paper and put that on. So I'll just move that over here. We will adhere that on. I don't know where I put my seal adhesive. There it is. Okay, where are we going next? Yeah, we're getting to the exciting part. Okay, I think the paper really already adds something awesome. Next, I'm going to take some vellum. Do I have any here on my desk? I have some, I don't know. We've got a tiny bit here. And then I'm going to use the Nested Essentials dies, okay? So if you're not familiar with these dies, I'm just going to show you what it looks like there. So they've got 3 different distinct shapes. I'm going to take out sort of this largest rounded corner one. Okay. And I think I might be able to do it. Let's try it and see if we can get a little piece out of here. You can tell I love maximizing my paper. So vellum is another must add to your shopping list because it, I think it adds a touch of softness to your projects, but still gives that texture and layering that really makes your card pop. Oh, what did I do here? I have no idea how this layer became. There's a gremlin in the craft cave here. Let me just put that. It's supposed to be straight. Okay, so let's take our cut and emboss machine. This is the mini cut and emboss machine. And then maybe just to make it easier, I'll cut this extra bit off. Let's see here if I can. And so all I'm doing is putting that die right onto the vellum, and then we are popping it into our mini cut and emboss machine and just giving it a little roll through. Hopefully, yeah, I think we did it. So look at how pretty this is. It's got the nice rounded corners, and I don't know if you can see, but there's even a little bit of piercing along the edges to give a little extra fun there. Can you see that? Okay, so keep going. I am also going to use exactly the same die, but you see how it comes in different sizes here. So I'm just using the smaller one now, the smallest one. And I'm going to take a little piece of, there we go, a little piece of basic white, and we'll cut that out. We're going to need that as well. Now the trick is, here, I'm going to put it on my little white studio part there because I'm always losing the things that I'm cutting out. I cut it out and I'm trying to collect them all for the card, and then I'm like, where did it go? And I'll find it like on the floor. I'll find it on my lap. I'll find it under an ink pad. So, okay. There we go. So it's exactly, oh, maybe you can see the paper piercing a little bit better there. Okay, so very pretty dies. You can add those to your shopping list if you haven't already, the Nested Essentials dies, because it's the best time to treat yourself to some new goodies, since every $60 spend, you get a free gift from Stampin' Up. And then don't forget, as part of our sweet celebration party, we're giving gifts too. So it's a wonderful time to shop. Okay, let's move this. Okay. Okay, we've got our little layers there. Now I'm just going to take some basic white and I'm going to stamp our central image. So I am going to use this one from the Lovely and Sweet. This one was calling my name, this big image here. So let's play with it. And so for this larger image, you're going to need a larger block. Stampin' Up! Blocks are the number one, the best, because they're very sturdy, they're thick, and they have a groove here in the middle that gives you a much firmer grip when you're stamping. So that's really important when you're stamping, because there's nothing worse than working on a project and then dropping your block right on it because you didn't have a good grip. Ask me how I know. So that's why I invested in all the Stampin' Up! Blocks. I have all the different sizes so that it just makes my projects even better, and it makes it easier for me to stamp. And I have the kind of crazy life that easy is always better for me. Okay, I have a funny story for you. You could tell me in the comments what you think of the story. But my husband is the type that he thinks technology makes things better and easier. I am of the camp that, yes, there's value to technology. Like, look, I can share stamping with people all around the world. But I'm also very aware that technology can be more trouble than the help that it gives. So the story is our scale broke. And I don't know about you over the holidays, but I have been eating like crazy. I love eating. And so I'm a little concerned about all the weight that I put on over the holidays, and our scale broke. And so I wanted a new scale. So does my husband get just a regular scale? No, he gets a scale that's digital, which is fine because the numbers are big, good for my eyes. I can see them. But it also talks to your phone so that you can set goals, and it can keep track of many days and like body fat measure index or something. Like, I don't know how the scale calculates all this. So it's not just a scale, it's a scale and more. But of course, I'm paranoid that something terrible is going to happen and it won't work at all, or I'll break it. Or what if my phone's not nearby? I don't even know why I brought that up, except to tell you that sometimes doing things more complicated, or thinking we're doing things more complicated, makes it, we think it's going to be easier, but sometimes it's really not. So I'm not really sure what it has to do with the stamping. Maybe I'll remember and come back to it. I'm so sorry. Welcome to Genevieve's Facebook Lives. Okay. So look at how gorgeous that is. I stamped it with the Pebbled Path, which is one of the colors in the DSP. You can see how beautifully it coordinates together. Okay, and we are going to color this baby. So there's different ways to color and add color to this. But I'm going to use the watercolor pencils because I wanted a softer look. And if you've never used watercolor pencils before, I'm going to share a few tips with you. So I hope these videos are inspiring, but also educational for you so that you know a little bit more about Stampin' Up! Products. Okay, so what you want to know when you're using watercolor pencils is that a sharp pencil is a happy pencil. Of course, some of mine need to be sharpened, but we'll start with, is there like an old olive color? Here we go. Okay, and the name is right here on the pencils, so that's really helpful. Stampin' Up! Is always really thoughtful about designing their products. So I am actually going to give it a little bit of a Okay, so with the watercolor pencils, the harder you push, the darker the color that's laid down. But what I like about it, first of all, if you're really artistic, you can get some beautiful, beautiful outcomes with watercolor pencils. I am not super artistic, so you'll see how I'm going to get the color to blend a little nicer than I am. I'm just laying down some rough color just by going in circles. Okay, so I'm using the Old Olive watercolor pencil. I'm not pushing that hard. I can push a little harder on the veins just to get a little more depth to the color. Okay, so we'll color that. But I'm a pretty simple crafter, so I'm not going, but if you are more artistic, you can definitely do some very fun shading and techniques with the watercolor pencils. Okay, but I'm just laying down the color fairly quickly just so that you guys get an idea. Okay, maybe that's where my story about the scale came from. I'm just simple. I don't like things too complicated because I like to be fast, quick, easy. But this stamp set, it calls for a little more. It just called for a little bit of color. Okay, and then let's color it all. I'm going to do the flowers in Melon Mambo. Okay, because I have Melon Mambo on my card, so why not have the coordination? That's actually possibly how I chose the cardstock, because I looked at my watercolor pencils and saw that Melon Mambo was one of the colors. So I'm just going to add the color. I'm trying to go a little bit fast here because I don't think it's very exciting for you to watch me color. Normally I'd take a little more care, but you'll see it's going to be fine. And then there should be like a gray here. So there's no pebbled path, but there is a basic gray. And I'm adding that to these sort of pods here. Okay. Okay. So there's the pods. I could make them a little darker, I think. Oh, my pencil just broke. Okay. Okay, so how are we going to make the color look a little more even? Here, I'll hold it up so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so you see it's really rough. Even if I left it like this, it still looks great, I think. Okay, it adds that pop of color I'm going for. But what I'm going to do is take my Wink of Stella pen. Everyone should have at least 2 in their drawer, okay, because if one runs out, you are covered. And what I'm doing is I am rubbing the Wink of Stella over the watercolor pencils where I colored, and it smooths it right out while adding a little bit of shine. Okay. So let me hold it up. Can you see that this is the one that I just colored? Can you see how it evens out the watercolor pencil lines? There, and then you can see a bit of the shine there. Okay, so I'm going to do that. That's how I'm evening out my color on the leaves, as I'm using the Wink of Stella. Plus, you kind of get that bonus shine. But you could use our aqua painters as well. We also have these things called blender pens. But hey, a little chance to add some bling bling, why not? Okay. Oh boy, this video is going longer than I had wanted, but hopefully it's worth the price of admission. Don't you love these online parties? Absolutely free for you to enjoy. But if you want the party perks, you have to make sure to shop. All the Saleabration party perks start from January 4th, and our special party ends January 8th. But you're not going to wait. I think there's going to be a big rush when the catalog goes live on the 4th. So I don't want any of you to be disappointed. So make sure you look at the link in the description so that you can be ready to shop. and make your wish list so you don't miss anything. Because remember, Stampin' Up gives gifts, and that for every $60 spend. Okay, so once I've done the green leaves, I'm just going to kind of rub it on a scrap paper to get the extra green off the tip, and then I can go in and do the flower. It just really brightens it up and smooths out the coloring. Okay, I'll do the same. I'm kind of brushing off any of the pink remains, and then I'm doing the gray here for the pods. Okay, there we go. See how it's really evened out the color? There's like shimmer and shine on it. Woohoo! Okay, that was fun. Okay, so let's use the coordinating die and die cut that out. I don't think this is going to fit through the mini. Let's see. I think it's a little too wide. Yeah. Oh, maybe, but I think the paper will be too wide. So I'm going to just run over and do it in my larger cut and emboss machine. And then you'll get the final effect here. I'll just, I don't know. I was going to bring it over, but okay, there we go. Can you see that? So I just went over to my larger die cut machine, cut and emboss machine, and there is our, so we're almost done. I'm going to be adhering this onto our vellum square rectangle that I already The reason why I'm putting it on this rectangle first is so that I can see, I want to pop it up a little bit. So now I can see where to put the dimensionals. Okay, so let me get my dimensionals here. And we'll pop that on. Okay, because I didn't want it to be in a section where the vellum was just exposed like that, because you see how you can see behind it. So that's why I was hiding the dimensionals where the flower, again, I'm not a botanist. I don't even know what to call it. The plant. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp the sentiment here. And I'm going to do the one, just sending a bit of love your way. So let's take our little block. Okay, and we'll use our Pebbled Path ink again. This glass mat surface is so strong and sturdy. It really helps with how crisp and clean the final image is. Okay, and I am going to put that on there, but before I do, I couldn't resist a little more bling bling. So I'm just taking, whoops, a tiny bit of our, oh, here, sorry. Okay, so this is the elegant trim. There's one package, you get gold and silver in the same kind of package. So it's perfect because if you don't know what color to use, you can have both. No, it's too short. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of the silver elegant trim. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. Just make a couple of loops there. I'll cut it. And then I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. Okay. And then I'm just going to have it peeking out the side. Okay, so I just have a few loops of that elegant trim peeking out the side, and we'll pop it on with some dimensionals here. Okay, and then let's add some bling bling. I am using, I don't even remember what it's called, but there's these beautiful gems here. I don't know what they're called. Let's look. I already used up all the gold ones. Adhesive backed sparkle gems. They're from the annual catalog. And there's these pretty silver ones that I am just going to kind of pop onto the card to add some bling bling. Okay. And okay, so let me show you many more samples, because once I started playing with this suite, I could not stop, my friends. I could not stop. So this is the one that I created and wanted to show you today. I used the Lovely and Sweet stamps with the coordinating dies. But let's see how we can kind of mix and match things. So here's another one, but instead of using the Lovely and Sweet, it's using the Notes of Nature. But you see how you can still use it. It intertwines really nicely with the gorgeous paper, designer series paper. There's that die again, the Nested Essentials dies. Okay, there's some of that faux leather trim and the cork rounds embellishments. Okay, and look, there's that little die being used right there. This was actually a swap card I received. I'm wondering if there's a name in here. Thank you, Elizabeth Ames. Thank you for sharing your swap card. Okay, and then what else have we got? This was a swap card that I made. Again, it's using the Notes of Nature. Okay, it's actually using a technique called masking. And do you see how I kind of created a mask and I stamped just inside? I shaded it, stamped inside. Okay. And sponged it there. Okay. This one doesn't use any of the DSP, but you can see it's using the dies. Okay, here's another sample. This is really just using the designer series paper. I just cut it out, added some gold foil behind, and just stamped the sentiment from the Lovely and Sweet. I used the pecan. So that is a super simple card, but I think it's still super elegant. Okay, you could use it as a condolence card or just a thinking of you card. Okay, and then this one is actually the one, I'm just showing it to you. This is a shaped card. Okay, so you can see it's a different shape. You'll learn how to make this with the tutorial that will be provided if you place an order of 120. No, your order just has to be over 60. And you'll get the tutorial on how to create this shaped card. But as well, you'll get 2 other tutorials included that Amanda and Jennifer designed. Okay, so you'll get all the details about the color of ink I used, how I created the shape, all that good stuff. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what I made with I feel like I made more, but anyway, I did a lot of stamping, but I think I already showed you the DSP. But now let's transition a bit. I've shown you the Nature Sweetness suite, and the things that are in the suite. I'm going to move these pencil crayons so that they're not distracting us. Oops. And there we go. Okay, so look at the variety of cards that can be created with this suite. This is just a few. Okay, but let's transition to after you shop and you get amazing Saleabration gifts. Let me highlight a few of the Saleabration goodies because I think there's one of the Saleabration freebies that coordinates really nicely with this suite, and it is called the Detailed Dogwood Stamp Set. So never does Stampin' Up give free stamps, okay? But during Saleabration, they do. So you don't want to miss it. When you place an order of at least 120 before tax and shipping, you can choose the Detailed Dogwood as your free item. Okay, so there's a couple of Saleabration gifts that are only available if your order is 120. You could, of course, instead of choosing this, you could choose two of our level 1 Saleabration items, or you can just choose this, which is free with a 120 order. But do you see the images on here? It also screams out that little bit of vintage nature. So I thought it would work really nicely with the Nature Sweetness suite. So if you purchase the suite, you'll have enough to choose a freebie. I'd suggest choosing the Detailed Dogwood because it coordinates so nicely. But let me show you some of the cards that I made with that. Here's one that I made. I used the greenery piece here. I used the little, I don't know what it's called, Baroque motif here, and the dragonfly. I had to use the dragonfly. I thought it was so beautiful. So I just created a background. Oh, and then see, here's what I mean by mixing and matching. Then I took the Notes of Nature and I took that splatter effect, splattered it with crumb cake around. Okay, and then I also took the sentiment from the Notes of Nature. Okay, see how nicely those two stamp sets work together? Okay, so that's another inspiration for you there. And then, of course, I had to use that giant flower that's part of the Detailed Dogwood. As I said, I'm not a botanist, so I don't know what, I guess it's a dogwood flower. I don't know. So I colored it in with blends markers, but I paired it with the Nature Sweetness Designer Series paper, put a strip of gold foil, some gold gems on there. And there's another beautiful vintage style card. But I thought, let me try something, you know, maybe not so vintagey, not so naturey. Valentine's Day is coming up. And so I used the paper, the Most Adored Specialty Designer paper. It can be one of the choices. You're free with 60 spend. Here's some front and back look of the paper there for you. Okay, it's fun for Valentine's Day. So what I did is I kind of made a cute little love card. I actually used our note cards and envelopes, so it was already cut and scored for me. I just punched this with our 1 3/4 inch punch out of the Designer Series paper, stamped the little ampersand from the Detailed Dogwood set. Do you see the little ampersand there? And then I used in the new mini catalog, there is a mini alphabet set die. So I put our initials there, K and G. My husband's name is Kevin, so. And then I used the love from this one. Is it here? No. It's from the Lovely and Sweet. Okay, just sending a bit of love. So I used our Stamp It Right markers just to ink up the love. And I stamped it on the bottom of the card. Okay, so those are all the projects that I wanted to share with you today. Let's take one last look. Let's see. So don't forget about the party perks. This will be one of the tutorials you'll receive if you place an order Just you can message personally, or you can use the link in the description to shop. Okay, and you'll get the 3 tutorials, and this will be one of them. And then here's some other inspiration for you. This is really a Saleabration card showing off some of the Saleabration goodies. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a little more about the Nature Sweetness Suite, and it's inspired you to enjoy, create, and that you learned some tips about making cards using the suite. If I had had more time, man, I could have made boxes and other things. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so I think that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy all 3 of our videos, chock full of inspiration and information. And don't miss out on all the party perks, and you're going to want to take advantage of Saleabration because it's the happiest time of year. So thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Bye for now.